What's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out Black Diamond Guns and Gear. I'm Josh, and I'm here to tell you about my favorite budget options for 2024. Let's get into it. I may throw another wild card in there. Hopefully you can't see that right now in this angle, but basically I'm going to tell you about my two favorite options for a budget pistol in 2024. Now, we do have holster options for every pistol I'm talking about over on fattac.com. That is the main sponsor of the channel, and they have everything for bigger guys that you can think of. Holsters, belts, shoes, shorts, shirts that look really cool, spices, coffee, gun care, like literally everything you can think of is over at fattac.com, and they're the main sponsor of the channel, so please go check them out. We'd really appreciate it. The link's in the description below. Now let's get into it. The two pistols I actually want to tell you about today are the PSA Dagger and the SD9 2.0. Two reasons for that: price and quality. All right, so the first thing I want to tell you about these two pistols are I bought these pistols, and the third one too. I bought these pistols with my own money. Nobody gave me these pistols. There's no bias here when it comes to something like that, okay? You don't have to worry about me being bought by some corporation for them giving me something. These are stuff I bought with my own money. So here we go. The first one I want to tell you about is the PSA Dagger. This thing right here is basically one of the cheapest options on the market that is probably the most customizable. In my opinion, these things right here are really good for the money. I think I paid about $350 for this after it's all said and done. And this is basically the no frills option, okay? So this one here is just a black frame with a black slide. It's not optic cut, and it's just a 3-dot sight system, and there's really nothing to it. This is the Glock 19 size pistol. That's the reason why I chose these two together, because they're basically the same size. But the thing about the PSA Dagger is, when they first came out, man, everybody was jumping all over these things because of the price. They are made from Palmetto State Armory, so the quality is just like Palmetto State Armory quality. A lot of people say they wish that they had more QC, they had a better QC. But the thing is that I think they're pushing so many out at this price point that it kind of slips away. And that's one of the things you really got to be careful about, because you really want a pistol to carry that you're going to defend your life with. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this pistol. I've actually, in fact, not had any problems with this pistol at all. Now, the Micro Dagger, different story. Had a couple problems with that. I'll link a video somewhere up here. You can watch it if you want. But out of this pistol, that I probably have at least, I'm going to say conservatively, at least 3,000 rounds to this pistol without a malfunction or anything. This thing has been great. Things on this pistol I'm going to tell you about is basically a 3-dot sight set. The magazine release is not interchangeable. It will not move. It basically has the Glock Gen 3 style magazine release, so you cannot change it. It is only right-handed. Also, the same thing with the slide lock, or the slide stop. Thank you, James Yeager. The slide stop is only on one side. It is not ambidextrous like other things. No optic cut. And the slide serrations are really, really nice and thick. You can get a good purchase to rack it from any direction, even though you should just go over the top, in my opinion, just like James told us, right? You can also see that the trigger in this one is just like the old M&P triggers, where it has the hinge trigger, right? I'm not the biggest trigger snob. I really don't care when it comes to trigger feel, because I personally think when you go to dump rounds into something to stop a threat, that's exactly what you're doing. You're doing it to go as fast as possible to dump rounds so that you can stop the threat. And in my opinion, when you do that, you're not really going to care what your trigger feels like. This one in particular is about a 5-pound trigger, and it has the hinge trigger in it that I'm not super crazy about, but the reset is not terrible. And if you care about that kind of thing, you're probably going to change it out anyway, because this thing, just like a Gen 3 Glock, has a ton of aftermarket parts on it. Ton of aftermarket support. Even when it comes to holsters, it will fit in a Glock 19 style holster or a Glock holster of any kind, but especially in a FatTac holster. Now, the thing I like about the PSA Dagger, like I said, is the price. The price point on this one, You can customize this however you want and usually get it for under 350 bucks. Now you can get different color slides, you can get different color frames, you can get different slide lengths and different frame size. You can get basically a Glock 19X, you can size, you know, with the shorter slide, longer frame. You can do all that stuff and still stay in the $300 and $350 range. And it's really not bad. They have all the same like slide cuts in it like the Gen 5 do. So it has like the bull nose type frame cuts on there, so you can actually put it into a holster a little bit easier. It has a rail on it so you can put a light. And the frame is actually not super rough when it comes to texture. I actually think it's kind of smooth. If I had to choose, I would say that it kind of feels like a mixture between a Walther and an M&P when it comes to how the actual frame feels. The reason for that is because it's kind of rounded. It's really not blocky at all, but it does have this little dimple here on the frame that I'm not crazy about. My hands don't go exactly where pistols want them to because I got big old hands. And if you got big old hands, it might be uncomfortable for you. Other than that, I think it's a pretty good pistol, and for the money, you really can't beat it. On the other hand, you do have the SD9 2.0, and that's what it is. It is a 2.0 because it is the second rendition of the Smith Wesson SD9. The first one was the SD9 VE, I think, or something like that, which I think came out before their M&P series of pistols did. But we have holsters for this also on fattac.com. You can go check it out. Like I said, literally best thing for holsters because it has holes all the way up and down, left and right side of it. You can literally put clips wherever you want to. They're always optic cut. So let's get back to the SD9 2.0. The Smith Wesson SD9 2.0, the only bias I might have about this pistol is the fact that it's made here in my hometown of Maryville, Tennessee. Smith Wesson decided to get out of the communist state of Massachusetts and come down to good old Tennessee. So they started making these pistols here along with a bunch of other ones. Basically anything that's over 5 rounds they make in Tennessee now. And they say Maryville, Tennessee, right on the slide. So that's really cool in my opinion, and that's the reason why I wanted to pick this actual pistol up, because I was kind of stoked about it. It had my name on, or it had the city's name on it that I live in on the side. But when it comes to the pistol, the SD9 2.0 is a better version of the old SD9 VE or whatever. It has some things that are exactly the same, and it has some stuff that's changed. Some of the stuff that's the same is basically the frame and the slide color. You cannot change that. That is how they come, period. That's one of the downfalls, I would say, the PSA over the Smith & Wesson is the fact that you can customize the PSA to literally whatever you want. This one here comes with a 3-dot sight set that is not night sights. It's just regular 3-dot metal sight set, which is cool. Glocks don't even come with metal sights. Okay, that's saying something. Comes with the same old stainless steel slide up top, and I gotta say, it looks just classic and good, right? It has the a little bit tougher serrations than what were on the original SD9 VE. It has a little bit thicker, a little bit deeper, so it's easier to get your John Wick press checking on. It also comes with non-ambi slide stop, okay? It only has it on the left-hand side for right-handed users, along with their magazine release is also not ambidextrous. So these two things are basically the same. The only thing that I will say that is better about the SD9 2.0 is the fact that the frame texture is rougher. I personally like rougher frame textures. And the trigger is freaking ridiculous, okay? So it has a flat-facing trigger in it, and it's about, I would say, 3.5 to 4 pound trigger. I mean, like I said, I don't know if people are actually going to care about the trigger because you're literally just pulling it out to dump as many rounds as possible, as quick as possible. But this trigger is super nice. I really like it, and I can get shots on target very, very quickly because of it, because it's flat facing and the way it's made. They took the old hinge trigger that is in basically this PSA and put a flat facing trigger in it because it's better. Not only that, this one comes with standard 16 round magazines. I think that's really cool, the fact that they do come with the same size magazine as a Glock 19, but it's 16 rounds instead of 15. This one, on the other hand, takes Glock mags. So it can literally take any size magazine that a Glock has in this pistol. So comparatively, I have a bazillion Glock magazines, right? So any Glock magazine that I have, 33 rounder, even if you have a drum magazine, whatever, they're all gonna go inside these PSA Daggers. That is the one upside to this compared to the SD9 2.0. These have a proprietary magazine, and if you don't know this, they only come with one in the box. You literally have to buy these kind of magazines. You can't have M&P magazines that fit this thing because they don't fit. The SD9 magazine is special to itself. You have to buy SD9 magazines, which sucks, okay? That is the one downfall. So if you're counting, we got trigger and frame on this one that's better. You got customizable options on the PSA that are better, but the PSA also has Glock magazines, which is also a plus. SD9 does not. It has its own original SD9 magazine. So if you're counting by points, I'm gonna say the PSA is actually winning right now. But in my opinion, and this is probably biggest opinion, is the fact that the quality of the Smith & Wesson is better. So when it comes to quality of pistol, I'm gonna say the SD9 2.0 is better than the PSA. When it comes to quality and budget, this one I got for, like I said, right around 350 bucks. This one I got for $299. Not out the door. I had to pay, like, you know, had to do background check and all that stuff, but out the door I think it was like maybe $320 or something like that. Like it wasn't much. So actually the Dagger cost me more than the SD9 2.0. So in my opinion, I gotta show you this one first. I have to show you this one first. You got the good old Taurus G3C. This one is no spectacular feat. It has no optic cut, so it's not the Toro version. It is literally almost the same size as a Glock 26. So it's 12 rounds, and it's about $279 before taxes and background check. $279 is what you can find this for. Sometimes $250, depending on if you go to Royal King or wherever else. But this is another pretty good option in the budget realm. Everybody, their mom has a G3C because they're so freaking cheap. Now, do they work all the time like I think this Smith & Wesson is going to? Maybe not. That's the reason why, man, it really sucks because I would pick the Smith & Wesson over these for quality alone. The fact that I can pretty much guarantee that every time I pull this pistol out of my pants, it's going to go off when I need it to. Yeah, I'd have to buy more magazines, and yeah, I can't do as much customization to it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go off every single time. PSA, I can customize, I can have Glock magazines, but the QC on PSA stuff, maybe not the greatest. Even though I haven't had any problems with the PSA yet, I probably have conservatively about 3,000 rounds through, like I was saying, and I haven't had any problems out of it. Now the Micro Dagger I've had problems with. So it's a toss-up, really, and I think that what you really have to figure out is, are you brand loyal? Are you looking for something that is going to be just like super cheap and you don't really care what it is? Or are you looking for something that's going to basically defend your life? You know it's going to work every single time and still be cheap? I don't know, man. It's really a toss-up. PSA is a little bit more expensive, but it has Glock magazines and you can customize it. QC might not be the best. SD9 2.0, a little bit cheaper, not Glock magazines, has to buy proprietary magazines. No customization whatsoever, but the quality is probably better than any of these pistols. G3C, I think we all know about the G3C. G3C is like, meh, it's just a gun that you can probably throw away if you have to. That's the only upside to a G3C, right? So let me know in the comments what you think. I think I'm going to have to pick the SD9 2.0. I think that is by far the best option on the table. I love the PSA Dagger. Haven't had any problems out of it. I haven't even had any problems out of my G3C either. I think the SD9 2.0 is going to be my pick, guys. As far as budget goes, quality is going to be there. I think this would be my pick. So let me know in the comments below what your pick is, what you thought about my picks. If you think there's a more budget-friendly option that I should be looking at, let me know in the comments below. Hit subscribe and like and comment and all that crap on there so you know that when I put up new videos and when we go live sometimes. You can also check us out on Rumble, X, all that stuff as Black Diamond Josh or Black Diamond Guns and Gear. We're going to start putting a lot more stuff on Rumble because they're a lot more friendlier website. They actually don't care about this kind of things. You can go live and show these things, unlike YouTube where you have to actually follow a bunch of rules. So go check it out on Rumble, Black Diamond Guns and Gear. X, I think it's Black Diamond Josh. Or it might be Black Diamond Guns and Gear, not sure. On Instagram, it's definitely Black Diamond Josh. So I really appreciate you watching. Like I said, let me know in the comments below what you think. I want to know about your budget pistol options. Always check out fattac.com because they have everything for bigger guys, and you will not find a better holster than the Fat Tac holster. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these budget options. If you have something else that I should be looking at, and you think I should be looking at, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, see y'all later.